We're back. Back for another story time. Hey guys, welcome back to the Chanel. Let me see, is it a little too dark? Yeah, it was just a little bit too dark. Just a little bit too dark. Okay, y'all, so this is literally the last part of the Stanley series. So if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. But there are videos that you are going to need to watch before you watch this one, and I am going to leave those videos in order in the description box down below. Watch this video first. You're going to be mad confused, so I'm just trying to help you and watch those videos first, then come back here and watch this. And y'all, you are not going to want to miss this series if you're new to the channel. And y'all, in the comment section, y'all let them know down below they do not want to miss this series. Also, y'all, I have decided to make a new channel. Yes, I'm making a new channel, and on my new channel I am going to basically be showing my life. I'm going to be showing vlogs, my workout routine, how I ended up losing my 50 pounds. Still got like 30 more pounds to lose, so yeah, y'all gonna have to go on with me on this journey to lose my last 30 pounds. I'm also going to be showing more of my weekly vlogs on that channel. It's mainly a lifestyle because I did not want this channel to turn into a story time channel, but that is what it's turned into. But I do want, for the people who actually want to watch Irene outside of her story times, y'all should definitely click that link and subscribe to that channel. I'm going to leave it in the description box and also in the comment sections down below. Definitely support your girl, and you guys should definitely expect a video this month on that channel. So yeah, for the people who want to watch me, definitely go ahead and check that channel out down below. Get straight into the story time because I don't want to ramble. This is the last part of the Stanley series, y'all. Like, oh my god, everything came full circle. God is good all the time, and yeah, let's just talk about it. Okay, so boom, the last part that you guys heard was the fact that I talked about that I think that Zebra ended up sleeping with Stanley, and you guys also heard that what else did I tell y'all? Me and Stanley got into it on the phone, and he ended up admitting to me that the only time that he likes being around me is when we're, you know, doing the do. Other than that, he did not like being around me because he felt like I was always, you know, doing too much, which I really wasn't. Then you guys heard me also talk about the fact that I tried to talk about our problems and Stanley did not want to talk about our problems. Let's say you and a friend get into an argument, right? Your name is A and your friend is B. Let's say y'all get into a big argument and y'all stop talking for like a week, and then y'all start talking again, but y'all never discuss why y'all argued. And then y'all get into another argument a month later, and then it just builds up over time, and then y'all have a big blowout. That's kind of like what happened with me and Stanley. And that was the reason why I wanted to talk about everything that happened, because I just felt like me and him never really had a good sit down and a good conversation on, like, we never communicated, you know what I mean? And he didn't want to do that. At this point, I went my separate way, he went his separate way, I'm doing my own thing, you know. Like I told y'all in my other story times, I'm still dating other people. It wasn't like a big loss in college, like how it was in high school, doing his own thing. And also, I also told you about the fact that I knew that he had a girlfriend. Now let's talk about the girlfriend. So we're gonna call the girlfriend, we're not gonna even give her name, we're just gonna call him his girlfriend. This is how I found out that Stanley had a girlfriend. So let me paint the scenery out for y'all. PV homecoming parties are, I don't even think it wasn't even a homecoming party. It was a regular tent party. Okay, so at Parire View A&M University, home of the Panthers, where I graduated from. Let me stop playing. I'm sorry, I had to give my school a little shout out, you feel me? But at PV, we sometimes throughout the school year would have tent parties. And this was like before COVID. So before COVID, tent parties were lit. Like whenever, like sometimes the Q would throw tent parties, sometimes the Alphas would throw tent parties, and those parties would be lit. And let me tell y'all how we threw our parties. Because we lived in the middle of nowhere out there at PV. There were places with big grass rural areas, literally where cows used to be. And so like there was like this big ass tent, and that's where we would throw our parties. It would be like a huge tent, and it will be, the parties will be so big, the whole school will come out to the point where people will be outside the tent. Like, it will be so many people at these parties, and then they will have a DJ, right? And those parties were so lit, especially when the Qs used to throw, oh my god, when the Qs used to throw tent parties, those used to be the livest parties at the school. They used to have alcohol. They used to serve alcohol. Like, as soon as you will go inside the tent party, there will be like Q oil, which is like their alcohol drink. And they would like give us alcohol for free. So like, y'all, the Q alcohol used to taste like pure juice. But when I tell you that stuff used to get you messed up, babe, by the ending of the night, after drinking a couple of them shots and a couple of that pure alcohol, babe, you will be drunk AF. Oh my god, why is my dad calling me? He made me lose my train of thought. Damn, he made me lose my train of thought. Y'all know how your dad could call you or your mom could call you and you just forget what you were talking about before they called? I'm having one of them moments. But oh yeah, okay, yeah, the cute oil. So like, you will get messed up from that, y'all. Like, when I say messed up, I'm talking about messed up from drinking all that cute oil. So me and my friends, we was drunk, and like, when we used to get drunk, mind you, not even just that, it used to be guys, like random guys, and I know somebody in the comments about to be like, oh my god, that's not safe, blah blah blah. Babe, oh well, we was in college. If safety and college don't go together, and if you are in college right now, especially if you're at an HBCU, you know what I'm talking about. Safety and college do not go together. You know what I mean? Like, it be some real risky shit going on in college. But it used to be random guys walking around with bottles. Like, they'll be walking around, and I know some people about to be like, ew, but y'all gotta understand, this is like 2019, 2018, y'all. Like, Casamigos were not a thing. Patron was like that girl back then. Vodka, E&J, like, y'all know, if y'all went to college back then, y'all know the alcohol that we was drinking back then was not, there was no some get off that Don Julio, act the foolio, I caught your mother phone, that's how you do me, ho. No, it wasn't nothing of that. It was very much, I'm so gone on Patron, I don't know how I'm getting on, like, I need yeah. Anyways, y'all see how my mind just changes so quick. But yeah, it was giving very much like, you know, 2018 vodka, Amsterdam type of vibe, Pink Whitney type of vibe. And it would be random guys walking around with bottles, and they would just pour shots in your mouth. And not even just that, it would be guys that made like jungle juice on their own, and they'll be like, y'all want a shot, y'all want a shot. And as drunk as I was, y'all, I always used to be like, you drink it first. So I know y'all about to comment and say that's not safe, but y'all, your girl was still being safe even in her drunken manner. I used to be like, you drink it first. And then they used to be like, girl, you think I'm a drug, y'all? Bitch, I don't know what I think, but I know that I want you to drink it first. You feel me? They would drink it first, and then, you know, we'll drink it after. And there was some guys that did not want to drink it first, then we ain't drinking from that, because we just don't know, you know. So we was still kind of safe or whatnot. So we was drunk, y'all. Like, it was one of them fun nights. We're drunk, we're running around, we're seeing new people, and all of a sudden I look to my left and I see Stanley standing with this tall girl. Now, I don't know if I gave a description to Stanley. I'm pretty sure I gave a description to Stanley when I first talked about him on my channel. Stanley was very tall. Like, Stanley was like, give or take 6'3", 6'4", right? And the girl was like damn near his height, probably 6 foot. I'm gonna say, I'll say 6 foot. Yeah, like probably 6 foot. And so I was just looking, and I don't know, like, it's like I just sobered up mentally in that moment, and like something just told me that's the girl that he's been going to see at those apartments that I always see his car at. And oh, I also forgot to add this in the last story time. I forgot to tell y'all this. Y'all remember when I told y'all that I always used to see Stanley's car at this girl's apartment building? That building that he was in front of was an all-girls building. So that's why I always used to be like, something not right. You know what I mean? Because what are you constantly doing at an all-girls building at this time of the night, you know? So another reason why I kind of knew that that was his girlfriend was because he was standing next to his brother, and his brother was standing next to his then girlfriend at the time. So it just confirmed to me like, okay, yeah, like this is definitely Stanley's girlfriend and this is his brother's girlfriend. And he looked at me and he, like, you know, just nodded like that. Like, he didn't even say hi or anything. Like, he kind of like, you know, when you used to deal with somebody out in public and y'all don't talk anymore and y'all see each other for the first time and y'all just like, he just gives you a head nod like, hey, what's up? And then you just smile back and you keep it pushing. That's kind of like what happened. Like, he looked at me, he gave me a head nod, I smiled back, the girl looked at me, The brother said hi to me. I said hi to the brother, and that was that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, so this is the girl that Stanley is dealing with. This is the girl that he claims is not his girlfriend. This is the girl that he's been dealing with. And that was that. Like, even though I peeped the situation, it didn't make me feel no type of way. It just kind of gave me like a mental clarity note, like, okay, this is his girlfriend, and that was that, right? I found out he had a girlfriend. Let's fast forward to COVID. We are in quarantine at this time. But the campus went home. I didn't go home. I still decided to stay up at the schoolhouse. I didn't want to go home. So I stayed up at the schoolhouse with my other good friend. It was literally just like the parking lot was damn near empty. It was just a little bit of people that stayed at school. Parking lot at school was empty as hell. The parking lot in our apartments were just like, it was cars, but it wasn't as much, right? Yeah, my friend, we're making something out of nothing, y'all. Like, y'all remember COVID times, everything was shut down. Me and my friend used to go outside on walks. It was just always trying our best to just be happy and just like make something out of nothing, right? And there would be times that I would drive around the apartment area and stuff like that, and I would see that Stanley's car was still there. So Stanley did not go home. Stanley stayed at the school too. I did not call Stanley. I didn't text Stanley because, like I told y'all in my last story time, I had already made it a mental note to not talk to Stanley anymore. But I found out that he messed around with Zebra. So I peeped from that field party that he had a girlfriend. I wasn't about to step on toes and go out of my way to contact. No, I wasn't gonna do any of that. And I'm gonna be real, at that time I was dealing with other guys, other horrible guys that yuck. I don't even think I told a story time on one of them, but there was another guy that I was dealing with. Yuck. I was dealing with other guys, to say the least. So I wasn't really focused on Stanley. There was a time that Stanley called me. I answered. I'm like, okay. I answered. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, nothing. You know, I just wanted to check on you, this and that. You know, I haven't heard from you in a while. Me and you haven't spoken in a while since our last argument. And I just was checking on you to see if you're okay. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He's asking me about family and stuff. I'm like, yeah, they're good. Like, everybody good, you know? And that was that. He got off the phone with me. I'm like, okay, I didn't think anything of it. And it just confirmed to me even more he has a girlfriend. And he's trying to see if he can push boundaries, because it gave very much like, I have a girlfriend and I'm trying to see where Irene's head is at. And I'm also trying to see if Irene knows that I have a girlfriend. That's the vibe it gave. So that was that. And I just kept it pushing. So one day I'm at one of my other friends' house. Now these other girls, they decided not to go home as well. They stayed on campus. And okay, you know my original friend that lived in an apartment with me that I told y'all previously that we used to do stuff, like go on walks and stuff? We're all at her apartment. So it's 4 of us. I don't even remember what we were doing that day. I'm pretty sure we were probably like just eating food and playing games. I don't know, but we was talking. And we start talking about our past men. And we start talking about who in the group had bad taste, who had good taste. So we're just showing guys. And out of nowhere, one of the girls in the group was like, Irene, you got terrible taste. And I'm like, no, I don't. Y'all know how it is when your friend be saying that you got bad taste, and you like, no, I don't. Even though you deep down inside know that you got bad taste, you don't be wanting to hear that. So I'm like, no, I don't got bad taste. And they're like, girl, yes you do. Yes you do. You dated Stanley. And so and then y'all know, if I told y'all know that I told y'all in my last story times that Stanley, like, he is not that attractive. But I will say this. Stanley looked better in high school. Like, Stanley, I don't know how Stanley looked today. He could look good today. But he looked better in high school. He looked better in high school. So, like, I'm over here trying to fight with them and trying to show them pictures from when Stanley was like in high school, or when he was like fresh out of high school. And I'm like, this is how he looked. Like, I'm on his Instagram page. Mind y'all, might I add, I do not follow Stanley on Instagram anymore. He don't follow me anymore. You know what I mean? So it's not like we follow each other. So I'm on his page and I'm showing them old pictures from like high school. And I'm like, he looked good there. Like, what are y'all talking about? He did not look ugly. And they're just giving very much like, I guess if you say so, like that type of vibe. We're laughing. Like, I'm not mad or nothing. Like, I don't really care. That's not how my face. That's his, you know. So I don't really care how they feel or whatnot. And then on top of that, Stanley does not make up all the guys that I talk to. I talk to so many guys in my lifetime. And I don't think that my taste is terrible. Do I think my taste is top tier? No, but I don't think my taste is terrible. I'm just basically telling them that. And then we get on the subject of their guys. They're showing pictures of their guys, trying to, it like, y'all, I know some of y'all might be watching this like y'all are childish, but y'all got to think back to the time when it was time. It wasn't nothing to do. You could make something out of nothing back then, you know? If I could go outside and put chalk on the sidewalk and do hopscotch, I would have. You feel me? There was nothing to do back then. Just doing that childish shit, and then we all end up still hanging out, eating with each other, and then we end up all going home, right? I go to bed. The next morning I wake up. You know how you wake up, you check your socials. I check my Instagram. I posted a story and Stanley's in the views. I'm confused. I'm thinking to myself, did this boy know we were talking about him? Because why is he in my Instagram views? Why? We don't follow each other, right? I go to his Instagram and it's showing that I followed him. Y'all know how y'all lurking, which I wasn't even really lurking. I was trying to show my friends that he looked good. But you know how you lurking and you accidentally do something? That's what happened. So I'm looking at my phone like, oh my God, I didn't went and followed this boy. I didn't went and followed this boy. Like, I'm just looking like, oh my God. But after a while of me looking like, oh my God, I begin to notice that he never followed me back. Like, he never followed me back. He just went, he watched every single story. And I remember I posted a lot of stories that day. He watched every single story and did not follow me back. So now I'm kind of looking like, okay. I went from like, oh my God, I accidentally followed him to, why didn't you follow me back? You know what I mean? Because how I'm looking at it is like, in your head, you don't know that I accidentally followed you. You think that I just followed you. So why would you go to my page, watch my whole story, and not follow me back? Like, that don't even make sense in my head, you know? And like I said before, it was another episode of Stanley acting like he was too good for me. It was another episode of Stanley acting like I was just this girl that was so obsessed over him and he didn't like me at all. Like, it was another episode of that. And I thought that too. Like, I used to be like, man, this guy hates you. Like, I used to think that, like, y'all know with the Legion series, y'all know I'll be telling y'all, oh, Legion liked me, this and that, even though y'all swore up and down Legion never liked me. But with this Stanley series, I knew that Stanley did not like me. Like, I knew that he did not like me, not one bit. You feel me? And like I told y'all in my other story times, I do stay through BS. I do. I stay through BS. There is one little thing that you would do to me that will flip a switch in my head and it will be done. And that was that. That was the final straw. And I know everybody in the comments about to be like, Irene, that can't be the final straw. That was the final straw. I say that was the final straw, y'all. It's like God does everything for a reason, because I do not remember following this guy on Instagram. Like, I'm pretty sure when me and my friends were like fidgeting with my phone and stuff, I accidentally followed him. But the fact that that situation happened put everything into perspective for me to realize this guy does not mess with you like how you think he does, you know? So I'm not even thinking, oh, I'm gonna go confront him. I'm not thinking I'm gonna go off on him. I'm not thinking nothing. The only thing I'm thinking is I'm done. Because it's just like, it's been years of you acting like you're too good for me. So let me just go. Let me completely detach. So I went and I unfollowed him and I went about my day. And I just went about my day. So I'm gonna say about 2 weeks later, Stanley calls me. I reject the call because I was in class. I was on a Zoom call in class. I mean, I was on mute. I could have answered him. That teacher was an old teacher that did not know how to teach. He was like one of them 10-year teachers. If you know, you know. So he calls, I reject the call. And like I told y'all in the past, that Stanley doesn't like anything not happening on his terms. Like, Stanley wants everything to move on his terms. So Stanley can literally ignore the hell out of me over and over again, but when I do it back, it's a problem. That's what I noticed about Stanley. I rejected the call. He just starts blowing me up, y'all. I'm talking about blowing me up. Like, I rejected the call, and then I went back on my phone. He called again. I'm rejecting the call again. I'm trying to put the phone on D&D. He's hitting the phone to call again. He did that a good 4 times. On the 4th time, I answered, and I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, what do you want? You have a girlfriend, you know? Are you rejecting calls? Because I'm in class right now. I made up a lot. Well, I was really in class, but I didn't want to talk to him. So I'm like, cause I'm in class right now. Like, what's up? Like, I'm in class. I said, you can hear. Here he come. You not in class? Bitch, where you think I am in? And you think I'm in ass? Like, I'm in class. Like, what are you talking about? I know you hear this man in the background talking. I'm in class. Like, what? So I'm like, I know you hear this guy. I'm in class. Like, what are you talking about? But he's like, yeah, you're not in class. Like, you're just rejecting calls. Like, you're just rejecting calls. Anyways, I just wanted to call you to check on you. I was just checking. I said, you don't got to check on me no more. I'm done. So he's like, what do you mean you're done? I said, I'm done. I don't care no more, Stanley. I'm done. So he's like, hold on real quick. Hold on, let me call you back. I said, don't call me back. So he hangs up. I'll get ready to put my phone on D&D. Right before I could put my phone on D&D, he calls back. So I answer. I'm like, what? He's like, what do you mean you're done? I said, I'm done with you. Here he come. Well, could you at least let me know what I did? Because I didn't even do anything. I said, that's the problem. Throughout all of these years that I've been talking to you, you haven't done anything. That's why I'm done. Don't you get about that? Bro, my camera's about to die again, y'all. Like, oh my God. Okay, y'all, we're back. But fudge. Where did our last leave off at? So he's like, well, I need to know what I did. I need to know what I did. Because if you want to cut me off, you need to let me know what I did. So I let him know. I said, so I followed you on Instagram the other day and you didn't follow me back. Why? Here he come. First of all, I don't even know why you follow me on Instagram, because you the one that went and unfollowed me on Instagram last time we stopped talking. You unfollowed me on Instagram last time we stopped talking. So I don't even understand why you would think that you would come over here and follow me on Instagram and think that I'm supposed to be following you back. That's basically what he said, just like that, y'all. Really quick, just like that. Mind you, I have never seen Stanley talk that fast and that passionate. I, in my heart of hearts, believe that Stanley knew that I was done. I think that Stanley knew I was done, because in the past, when I told Stanley I was done with him, I used to curse him out, y'all. I used to tell him to DIE. I used to just be so angry, filled with rage, filled with just, every time I was done with Stanley, I would be like, sorry, I was about to cough. I'll be like, da da da, like, you know, like going off, like going in on him. This time I was so calm, y'all. Like, he was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I can't do it no more. You disgust me. I'm done. And so I think he knew that I was really done. And so it sent him into a rage, y'all. This boy started yelling at me. Like, when I say yelling, y'all, this boy started yelling at me. He said, what do you mean you're done? What do you mean you're... I said, I'm done. Bitch, I'm scared now because I said I'm done. Y'all, my camera don't want to let me be great. I just switched out my battery, put in a new battery, and now my camera is telling me that my storage is full. I'll be back. Okay, y'all, we're back. I'm sorry, y'all. It's too much going on. But yeah, y'all, he starts screaming. Like, he starts yelling at me. He's talking about the fuck, like cursing. Talking about the fuck you mean you're done. Y'all, what are we talking about here? Bitch, I said I'm done. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, when I'm done with a guy, I'm done. Like, I know when I'm done with a guy. Like, if I am, you know, this is with me. Like, if I'm arguing with the guy that I said I'm done with, I'm not done. But when I know that I'm done, I know that I'm done, and I know that I was done. So I just hung up. I hung up on him. He didn't call back. He didn't text back. I'm like, thank God, go away. So let's fast forward to like after COVID. He never hit me up again. He never called back again. He never texted me again. He just let me be. And I was like, thank God. And another thing I was thinking, like, you have a girlfriend. Like, I don't know why I have to keep reminding you of this, but you have an actual girlfriend and you need to be worried about her rather than worried about the fact that I told you that I was done. Like, why do you care that I'm done? You have a girlfriend, you know? So throughout the month, same things will happen again. Like I tell you guys all the time. He will see my brother at places and come up to my brother and ask my brother about me. My brother just got to the point where he just started kind of like not ignoring him, but like just brushing it off. Like, yeah, she's good, da da da, like, you know, and that's that. And I was just always like, why does he keep doing that? Like, why does he keep coming up to my brother and asking about me? So I'm gonna say, about, when was this? Let's fast forward to 2022. 2022 came around and I'm in my car and I'm chilling like a villain. And tell me why Stanley follows me on Instagram. I'm looking at Stanley like, buddy. my turn. My turn. It's my turn to show you how I can ignore somebody's follow request as well. So when I seen that he went to go follow me on Instagram, I'm like, nope, I did not follow him back. He's over here liking stories, liking highlights, trying to get my attention. He's sliding up on my story saying, you look so pretty. I'm literally opening all his DMs and not even replying. Because I'm like, no. When I tried to follow you back in 2020, you did not want to follow me. So don't follow me now. And I know somebody about to be like, you're petty, but I am very petty. I'm glad you know. He's doing that and he sees that, like he kept doing the same routine. What he would do is he will follow me for about a week. He will be all up in my likes and everything, and I didn't block him. And I know somebody about to be like, girl, why didn't you block him, this and that. Y'all, I was done. I don't think y'all understand. When I be blocking guys, I'm not done. Like, unless like I just met you and you got me messed up, that's different. But if I block a guy that I truly once loved or really care about, I'm not done. I'm so serious. I'm not done. I actually work the opposite. Like, if I block a guy that I actually really love, I'm not done. If I don't block him but I just completely ignore him, I'm done. So me blocking him will show him that I am still pressed about the situation, which I wasn't. I was just done. And I have blocked Stanley so many times in my past. Me blocking him wasn't gonna make a difference, you know? So he will follow me, he will see that I'm ignoring him, and he'll go back and he'll unfollow me. He'll come back a month later, he'll do the same thing. He'll see I'm ignoring him, he'll come back and he'll unfollow me. Like, he did that a good 3 times in like a 3-month time span, right? And it would be every time one of my friends would post me, because he was following my friends. So every time one of my friends would post me, he will go on my page. Even if he didn't follow me, he will like a story or slide up or something, and I'll ignore him. So one day I'm coming from Pilates. This is when me and my friend were trying to get into Pilates. So I'm coming from Pilates and I'm in my car, and tell me why I see a incoming call from Stanley. Y'all, mind y'all, Stanley haven't called me or texted my phone in over 2 years. So and I know Stanley's number by heart. So seeing that number pop up on my screen was so like, what you want? Mind y'all, at this time, he already did showcase the fact that he has a girlfriend. The same girl that I seen at that party that day. Him and that girl is still dating, okay? Let's keep that in mind. So I'm looking at the phone like, what does this woman want? So I end up answering the call. No, I end up rejecting the call. He calls again, of course. I answered the second time. I'm like, what? I remember I was like, what? Damn. Not even a hello? Oh, what? What do you want? So I'm like, no, like what? Like, what do you want? He's like, why? Like, why do you hate me like that? Like, why? Like, you know, I'm like, Stanley, I said, you got a couple of seconds to let me know what you want, or I'm gonna hang up on you. He's like, well, I just been thinking for a while, and you know, I'm ready to talk. Do you guys see the pattern? Another episode of Stanley thinking that he can do every single thing on his terms. I wanted to talk to you about everything we went through since high school 2 years ago. You said you don't want to talk. Now all of a sudden you want to talk? Like, no. So that pissed me off. And I said, you don't get to speak and do things when Stanley wants to do it. I said, we're always doing shit on your time. I said, I wanted to talk to you 2 years ago. He go cutting me off. I understand that. And I understand that. But back then, I said, I don't want to hear it. Like, I cut him off. I said, I don't want to hear. I said, don't you ever call this phone again. We ain't talking about shit. And I hung up. So that was that. And he just continued doing the same thing throughout the months and stuff. Like, you know, he'll just follow me. He even done it till this year. He's been doing it since 2022. He'll follow me. He'll like a picture. There was a time that he texted me and I just ignored him. I'm like, bro, like, mind you, like, what do you want? He's trying to say, like, I'm trying to make things right now. I'm like, bro, you have a girlfriend. Like, you have an actual girlfriend. Let's fast forward to this year. Meanwhile, I'm on Instagram and one of my friends sent me Stanley's friend's story. I'm like, okay. I click on the story. Bitch, all I see is 3, 2, 1. And I see Stanley go pop, pop. And bitch, I see blue powder in the air. And I see everybody screaming and running up to him. Stanley got a baby on the way. So at this point, I'm like, oh, he got that girl pregnant. Oh, mind you, Stanley was just liking my story a month prior to that. And I'm literally looking like, oh, okay. So he has a kid on the way. Cool. My friends, multiple of my friends are sending it to me. Y'all know how we are. Being messy. They're like, girl, look, Stanley done got somebody pregnant. Like, we're just having to talk about it. And I'm like, what the, like, that's crazy. You know, I'm like, that's crazy. But then again, that's not. He's been dating her since we were in college, you know. I'm like, that's actually crazy. Like, he got that girl pregnant. And so, like, we're just talking about it. My friend is literally telling me that I dodged a bullet. I'm laughing. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, Stanley don't treat no girl good. It's not like Stanley treated me bad and he treated the rest of his girls good. Stanley don't treat no girl good. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, how are you able to stay through all this BS with him plus give him a kid? My mind couldn't process it. But then again, I thought about all the ways that Stanley used to manipulate me back then, and all the ways that he used to pull me in whenever he would see that I'm getting like further away from him, all the ways that he would call me. And I thought of all that, and I was like, I know if he did that with me, I know he's definitely done that with his girlfriend when she's tried to leave the situation. So many of my friends were just telling me about how I dodged a bullet and it could have been me. And I'm not gonna lie, when they were telling me that, I'm like, all right, y'all, it wasn't gonna be me. But looking back at it, y'all, it really could have been me. It really could have been me that could have got knocked up by this boy, because I could not leave him alone for the life of me. Like, I really couldn't leave him alone. And y'all know one thing about God, if God keeps seeing that you messing with somebody that he did already showed you a trillion times to leave alone, he gonna make something stick. Like, he gonna give you something that you can't get rid of, whether it's a STD, whether it's a broken heart, whether it's a kid. Like, he gonna give you something that sticks permanently in your life, you know. So I was so like much more relieved, and I was also happy that like he was having a kid. And it was just like a reflective moment for me, just knowing that I got out of that situation or whatnot. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. Even though I don't date Stanley no more, Stanley played a role in how I dated every other guy, because Stanley was my first love. Stanley was the first guy that I've ever loved, you know. And when you fall in love with somebody who uses your body as an object, when you fall in love with somebody who just uses you and doesn't really care too much about your feelings, meanwhile you care so much about their feelings and you care so much about their well-being, it definitely affects you, you know what I mean? Especially the fact that we did this for 6 years. So in every relationship, I just self-sabotage it. Even if most of these guys that I've dated, not most, all of the guys that I have dated in the past have been red flags. They have been, even if they were good guys, something like, it's been their fault. I'm not saying that it hasn't been my fault at all, but like, it's majority of the fault has went to them, you know. I will be a woman about it and admit that my insecurities and the things that Stanley did to me while I dated him has played a role in all of the guys that I've dated in the future. I self-sabotage a lot. I tend to think that every guy that is dealing with me is just using me for my body, because that's just the vibe that I always got with Stanley. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I sometimes like doubt that I'm lovable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I be doubting that a guy can really like love me. Like, I be like, no, like a guy can't love me, because Stanley never loved me. Never think this in my head directly, but like under my subconscious, I do. I was on the phone with my friend one day, and we're talking about a different guy. Like, we're talking about a whole different guy that I just got done dating. And she told me, she's like, hey, like, why do you think these things? Because I started telling her like the thoughts that I have in my head of myself. The only person that I could think of was Stanley. I'm like, because of Stanley. And she's like, do you think you're healed? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, bitch, I'm not with him no more. What you mean? I'm more than healed. But she's just like, girl, you're not healed. And so we start talking about it, and she's like, I think you should talk to Stanley. And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to him, because y'all, like, all jokes aside, all the guys I've messed with, I be scared to talk to Stanley. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I be mad scared to talk to Stanley. I don't be wanting to talk to Stanley about nothing, because we, like I said, we never did that. So it's a scary thing to hear. So I'm like, girl, no, I'm not talking to him. And so me and her are just going back and forth on the phone, and she's just like, you need to talk to him. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. You need to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. And she ends up getting me to go talk to him. So I end up texting him, and mind you, it's like 2 in the morning, y'all. And mind you, this part just happened the other day. Keep that in mind. So it's like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I texted him, and I'm like, hey, are you up? Y'all, this motherfucker texted me back quick. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, y'all, I was like, I was hoping that he would sleep or something, but this boy was up. And so I'm like, I need to talk to you. And he's like, okay. So we end up getting on the phone. So he's like, hey, Irene. I'm like, hey. I'm a little, you know, I'm a little emotional. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I felt like that 14-year-old girl all over again on the phone with him. Like, I kid y'all not, I did not feel like Irene. Like, I didn't feel like the Irene now. Like, I felt like it was so nostalgic, you know what I mean? It's like, and I could definitely, because my friend is a prayer warrior. She's a spiritual prayer warrior, and she prayed for me before I called him. So I definitely felt the presence of God in that moment, and I definitely felt the presence of, like, you know how people be like, closure's a scam, and no, closure's not always a scam, y'all. I ain't telling y'all to go hit up that boy that did you dirty now. Leave that boy alone. Because I know some of y'all gonna be thinking, oh, if Irene said closure's not a scam, let me call Billy. Girl, Billy is deep in some girl's guts right now as we speak. Don't text that boy. Closure's a scam for some of y'all. So, you know, like I said, I just felt the presence of God in that conversation. And that is one thing that my friend prayed for. She prayed for God to take over the conversation, and not our flesh, not the devil, not nothing, just God, you know. And I'm not going to go into the full details of everything we talked about, but he apologized for everything, y'all. Like, he apologized for the way he acted. He asked for forgiveness, and it just felt very sincere. He validated all my feelings. He told me things I didn't even know he felt. He basically told me that I was his first love. And I was shocked. Like, when he told me that, I was like, what? Because y'all know, we all thinking this boy don't like her. Like, he don't like her. And he was like, no, like, you were my first. He didn't want to say it, but, like, and mind you, his girlfriend they lived together. So, you know, he didn't want to, like, disrespect his girlfriend. So he kept saying, I don't want to disrespect my girl. He kept saying that over and over again. He said, but, like, I have never felt anything with any other woman like how I felt with you. And I've been trying to chase that feeling for years, and I have not been able to feel it. And he basically just said that the reason why he acted the way he acted when we were younger was because he had issues mentally on his, like, of his own, and then he did not know how to communicate, process his feelings. And he said that I wasn't the only woman that he treated like shit. He said every girl he dated, he treated bad. He said I was just the only woman that never wanted to hear him out. And the reason why he's been reaching out for years and stuff is because he feels so guilty of everything that he did to me when we were younger. I'll be real with y'all. Like, I'm low-key emotional, you know, because I'm like, wow, like, I've never thought that he would say this stuff. You know what I mean? I just never thought that Stanley will admit his faults. Like, it was a full circle moment. And y'all have to understand, me and him got on the phone while I was telling the series, like this series. So it was like a full circle moment. And I just was like, God is so good. Like, God is just so good. He said a lot, y'all. Like, just long story short, he apologized for everything he did. He asked for forgiveness. He told me that he always loved me, even though he didn't show it. And he also told me that he's been trying to look for me in every girl, and he has yet to find her. And I'm just looking at him like, you're not gonna find her, because I'm one of a kind. And I'm not just saying that because I'm Irene and it's me. Like, I'm a very unique, and I'm a different person. Like, my aura, my energy, the way I speak, talk, walk, everything is very different. It's very, like, you know, it's, yeah, like, not a lot of people act like me, look like me, and everything like that, you know. And I also apologize for the faults that I played in the relationship, faults that I played when I talked to him, the roles that I played and stuff like that. I apologize apologize on that end. He didn't even want me to apologize, y'all. He was like, you don't have to apologize. He's like, I know I was wrong. I know I was wrong for everything I did. And he was just complimenting me. He said, you're so pretty. I also brought up, I didn't just, y'all, it was a healing moment, because it wasn't just even the me and him. It was so much more. If you guys remember the series, y'all remember that his friends used to bully me. And I brought that up too, because I felt like Stanley never defended me, you know, and he just broke it down for me and gave me a better understanding about how, like, it was hard for him to defend me and also defend his friends, because his friends used to come to him like, well, she does ABCD. He said that he did tell me though that he told his friends to leave me alone. But it was a lot. Like, we talked for a good hour, y'all. It was a lot, and we talked about everything. Like, we talked about every single thing, and he allowed me to express my feelings, and he allowed me to express every single feeling that I felt. And he 100% apologized for every single thing and took responsibility, and I love that. Like, I love that. And this is one of them story times that have a good ending, y'all. Like, I know you guys always hear my guys story times and y'all always hear like a bad ending, but no, y'all, this story time has a very good ending. It was a full circle moment. I got off the phone with him and I haven't spoke to him since. We talked about his kid. He tells me that he's very happy to have his child. He said that he's very happy with his girlfriend, and I'm just happy. Like, it's a lot of growth. I appreciate him for apologizing, and honestly, y'all, he healed the inner Irene. He healed the younger Irene. He healed me. He doesn't understand how much he healed me, and God too. He don't understand how much he healed me just from that phone call. Like, he completely made me whole again and validated my feelings or whatnot. So yeah, and after that, y'all, like, after I talked to him, because we talked about other things, and I didn't really tell Stanley about, like, there was a guy that I just got done dating right before I called Stanley. I didn't really tell Stanley the full details, but I kind of told him what happened, because Stanley was asking me, like, in what ways have what I did to you affected your relationship. So I had to tell him, you know, and we were talking about it, and Stanley was like, yeah, like, you know, he was like, don't ever let no guy invalidate your feelings. He said, not even me. He said, like, you know, you're God's child. Like, he was talking to me. And like, honestly, ever since I've talked to Stanley, I've been standing on big business, y'all. Like, when I say I've been standing on business with these guys, like, I've been standing on business lately. Even though I might cry about it, I might call my friends about it, I might lurk, I might do whatever I need to do to heal. I've been standing on business. I've been cutting guys off left and right. I've been blocking left and right. I don't play no type of games, you feel me? Because it just lets me know, like, you're that girl. Like, no matter how much a guy tries to admit it or not, you're that girl. And it's crazy because he was telling me that on the phone. He was like, Irene, you're that girl. He kept telling me that. He was like, you're that girl. Like, he kept telling me that. So it's like, it's not like I needed Stanley to let me know that I was that girl, but it's like, he just, I don't know. It was just a full circle moment, and I'm so happy he apologized, long story short. And yeah, y'all, that's the ending of the Stanley series. I don't think I have any more stories on Stanley, and y'all let me know how y'all feel. I don't know, I'm very happy about this story time, y'all. I was so happy to tell y'all this story. Yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Definitely expect more videos this month. Even though I am not doing Vlogmas, you guys will definitely get a lot of adventurous videos this month, so be on the lookout, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.